Hey guys, Crazy Go here, and welcome to Rimworld, a colony simulator by Tynan Sylvester. This is my new series I'm going to be starting, and I'm pretty stoked about this. It's a pretty fun game. It's in Alpha 12. Soon it'll be in Alpha 13, and then after that they'll be working on a Steam release. So if you'd like to purchase it before it comes out on Steam, I'll have a link in the description for their website. Otherwise, you can just wait a little bit longer. I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's going to probably be a while. It's a big step to go into Steam. So there we go. Let's do this. Let's start off with a few things. I've played this a little bit. I'm not a pro, so mistakes will be made, and I'm playing with one mod. I know there's a lot of them on this list, but that's just the core game, and this is the only one I'm playing. It's EDB interface, so if you play this and you notice yours just doesn't look like mine, it's this. I just like it. And we're going to create a world. So basically, this is it's kind of like a sci-fi version of No Moria a little bit. If you like No Moria, you'll like this game. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Let's randomize it. Clip, that sounds fun. And basically, we land on. Yeah. Whoa, this is gonna be a crazy one. And this is it. So basically, we just generated the whole world right here, and so we have different biomes we can pick from when we decide to land. We have the ice sheets up here. We have a tundra. We have boreal forests. We have temperate forests. We have a little bit of tropical rainforests. We got arid shrublands, and we've also got deserts. So yeah, options. And then after that, we'll get into more detail later. But right now, we're just going to save this one, and then we're going to start a new colony. So one of the biggest difference between No Moria and this one is that there's an AI controlling what happens during the game. No Moria, we kind of knew that after a while merchants would show up, and after a while goblins would show up, and they kind of got routine. The only things that we couldn't control was when we went mining, if we found a cave and if stuff spawned in it, like say a bazillion beetles. Wink, wink, hint, hint. But in Rimworld, it's controlled by an AI. So the AI is basically letting things happen and trying to kill us at the same time, kind of. I feel like it's trying to kill us more often than it's not, to be honest. The AI storyteller creates events like pirate raids, resource drops, or animal attacks. Their choices will affect the story of your colony. Cassandra Classic. Cassandra creates story events on a steadily increasing curve of challenge and tension. And then we have Phoebe Chillax. Phoebe gives lots of time between disasters to relax and build your colony. But beware, if she's set at a high challenge skill, she'll hit as hard as anyone else. Besides picking which one you want, you can also change, like if you want to go real easy or extreme. And the last one is Randy Random. Randy doesn't follow rules. He'll generate random events, and he doesn't care if they'll make a story of triumph or utter hopelessness. It's all drama to him. So I'm going to go with Cassandra, because I'm still learning some of the more advanced stuff. And we're going to go with Rough, because that's about the middle ground there. And let's go ahead and start. So here's our world we started, or created. And we're going to pick some place to crash land. So something happens to our ship, and we have to bail. And so our drop pods have to land someplace, but luckily enough we can steer where it goes. So I mentioned there's different biomes. Well, those are just the biomes themselves. But inside each of these biomes are these little areas that we can actually build inside of. So we get to actually pick where we want to land. What is this? Faction-based misery. Oh, okay. So there's actually, I've never noticed this before. But there's different people already living on this said planet, and so there's some bandits there. There's another pirate band over there. Oh, there's two pirate bands. Let's see if we can see the other people. I don't think it really makes any difference as far as where we build, but at least we kind of know that there's two pirates on this planet. We can't actually land there, can we? Faction base misery. I don't think I want to land there. Let's go someplace here. I'm going to start with a temperate forest because it's been a while since I was actually playing this. I had to take a break because of all the videos I've been doing. But now that it's a series, I don't have an excuse not to play it. So we're going to go here. So there's different options, lots and lots of details into not only these, but what we pick. So for instance, there's the temperature, which is a crucial thing. Everything in this game has some kind of effect on your colonists. Unlike No Moria, where our guys could be naked or wearing armor, they could eat whatever they wanted, they could sleep wherever they wanted, they would work full-time hours, and then as long as they had eat and drink and sleep, they would continue working. Our people have more issues. Sometimes they get too hot, sometimes they get too cold. Sometimes they have no fun, sometimes they have no social life, sometimes they eat bad food that they don't like. Sometimes their room isn't up to their standards. There's so many factors in this game that affect our people's moods. And one of the big ones is heat. It also affects growing time. So as you see here, in the mountainous boreal forest, the growing period is only from May to August. Whereas if we go down here, it's from April to September. So it's a little bit different, because food is a big thing about keeping your people happy. And having that little extra time to grow definitely helps. So we're going to go start off with here. January, it's the coldest part. It's about 26 average. July, the hottest, it's about 78. So that's pretty warm. Maybe we can go down south. Maybe find a little bit more even ground. There we go. That's decent. We've got 30 degrees in January, so it's still pretty cold. 77 in the September, or the summer. It's mountainous. I want to find actually large hills, because mountainous means lots of mountains and less area to build, and I'd rather have more area to build in case I decide to go that route, because mining is fine, but you have to have miners, and we only started out with 3 people, so it's a little harder to do than Nomoria. So large hills, temperate. We got sandstone, granite, slate. That doesn't make too much of a difference, except for granite's the best material to build out of stone-wise. And if you want to go cheap, then stone is the way to go. It's more durable than wood, less than steel, but it's cheaper and easier to get. So granite's pretty good in April, September. So that's where we're going to land. We're going to land here. And now we get to pick our people, kind of. Unlike No Moria, we get 3 people, and we have no idea what they're going to have until we find them, actually, and we pick them, and we can actually randomize them. So we won't get set standard people, and we can actually change these people. But the biggest things that change them is their childhood and adulthood will kind of determine what kind of skills they have. Sometimes they're incapable of stuff. Like this guy is horrible. He's incapable of intellectual, carrying, social, crafting, and hauling. So he's only good at these things. He can never ever do these things, not even poorly. He's also lazy, bloodlust, and cold lover. So that's decent if we were up there in bloodlust. I'm not quite sure. Eminent gets a rush from hurting people and never minds the sight of blood or death when he's lazy. So he has global work speed of negative 15%. But yeah, so we can randomize these people. Like, I'm going to have that guy. And now we got the psychically sensitive and a pessimist who is incapable of scary and cleaning. But they have a good general things. Now basically, they got starting skills and they can upgrade them just like No Moria as with work. So if they shoot people, then they get better at shooting. If they're cooking more, they get better at cooking. And then there's also another factor. These little flames are passion. So if they have a little passion, then they'll learn these slightly better than somebody who doesn't have a passion. And if it's a big flame, that means they'll learn those things even quicker. Video gamer. Ryan was raised in a glitter world. Everything he wanted came to him. In school, he was a social butterfly. At home, he spent his time looking up the newest gadgets and playing his favorite video games. And then when he was an adult, he became a spaceship chef. So there's crazy things about this game, which help you get involved. Like, for instance, he's 33, but technically, because he's been frozen quite a bit, he's actually 1,179. So he looks pretty good for his age. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and... I don't know if I want this guy, actually. Psychically sensitive is kind of harsh. And being a pessimist doesn't help. But he's got really good skills here. 12 for cooking, medicine. We'll see. But I'm going to go through these guys and see what we end up with for our first 3 colonists. Alright, here we go. Here's our colonists. I had to get rid of pretty much everybody. But I had to go through a couple, and I got some pretty good ones, I think. There's always going to be some negative effects, so you can never get perfect, usually. I don't think you can. I think there's always negative effects. First guy is Nate. He was a marshal. First he was a scout, then he became a marshal. Pretty good promotion. He's incapable of intellectual artistic skills, so he can't make anything, and he can't research anything, which is it's fine. He's a pretty good shooter, though. He's got 12 shooting with a passion. He's got ace social, which is kind of weird because he's abrasive, so I don't know if that's a good trade-off. But he's steadfast, which is what I like. He's got negative 5% mental break threshold. Mental is always the biggest thing I had problems with when I was playing this. And then he's also got some medicine, construction, and a little bit of mining. Then we got Leighton, the janitor, who was a medieval slave, and then he became a starship janitor. I don't know if that's much of a promotion there. He's incapable of nothing. He can do anything he wants, except for research. I mean, he could, but it's pretty slow. He's a careful shooter, and he's psychically dull, which is great, because there's these weird things that can happen, and having somebody that's dull to that could be beneficial. He's also got a passion for not fire, that would be crazy. Construction, and a better one for growing, but he's decent all around. I mean, he's got a little bit of everything, except for these two, but we don't need that, because everybody else got medicine, which is crucial. Which brings us to Mike, the empath. He was a sickly child, and then he was a glitter world empath. He's incapable of violence, so he can't do anything, but he can heal people pretty good. He's got 11 with a passion. He's even got some skills with his social and animals. He's got some growing. He got a little artistic, and then he got research, which will be important in the beginning. And then he's also a green thumb, iron-willed, so he got a mental threshold of -9. And he's a hard worker, so that's pretty good skills. That makes up for him not being able to kill people. We have things that can kill people, so we don't need him, really. The three of you awake in your crypto-sleep sarcophagus sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown Rimworld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. And then, boom, cue the music. I love that part. We also get a random animal at the beginning. So right now we got a porker, a male husky. Great. Alright, and this is our place. This is going to be our home. Like No Moria, we can't go beyond the map. Things will come in off of the map, so that's always an important thing to remember. Oh gosh. There's some animals here I'm going to have to point out that sometimes can be a hazard. But yeah, we start off with our crash pods. We start off with our 3 people. We start off with some medicine, some lumber, some money, which is a silver. We can also mine that. We start off with some steel for building stuff. And then we start off with a little bit of food and some weapons. So we'll deal with that later. But first off, we need to figure out where we want to start building. Because we never know what's going to happen. What is this? Ooh, compacted plasteel. That's going to be great. But yeah, biggest things we got to think about is later on in the game is power. Power will eventually be the biggest thing we have to worry about besides death. But power does lighting, heating, cooling, machines, workshops. It also does our turrets, which will be our biggest defense that will help us besides our people. So we will not want to lack on power later on. So if we can find some more of these, which are geothermal geysers, steam geysers I should say, we can put a geothermal on them. So there's already 2 up in this corner. But it's in this corner where there's not a lot of stuff, which is kind of the downside. But then again, there's one there, and there's one here. And we got some stuff, and there's another one here. So let's find out if there's anything else. There's a lot of resources. The closer you are to the resources, the easier it takes. What's this? Silver, that's money. There's these rooms, which we have to be careful, because there could be good and bad stuff inside of those. Here's some deer. There's one nasty thing down here. It's a boom rat. You probably guess why it got its name. Oh, we got some gold down here, too. It dies, it goes boom. Same with these things that are right next to us. Luckily, nothing will attack us right off the bat. But you never know when one of them's going to go mad. It's a boomalope. Basically, once it dies, it explodes, and it can cause fires, which is a big thing. We got some alpacas, some hares. There's some more gold over here. Nice. There's not a lot of GMO. Oh, beefalo. Muffalo, sorry. Thinking of Don't Starve. Wow, there's not a lot of geothermals around here. There's a lot of stuff. But we're going to have to script by for now. I think we're going to start here in the middle, though. Because, to be honest, there's 2 right there. We can always expand over here, maybe. And then we can have 2 more. Like, if we end up building our base. Usually, I like to dig into some place and then build off of it just to get going. And then once I get more people, more work labor, we can start building stuff. So we're going to dig into this mountain a little bit, because it's pretty easy to defend. We can block off this entryway, or we can even block off this. But let's get started. First things first, we want to unforbid some of these things so that they don't pick them up. Or I mean, so that they can pick them up. They're forbidden. And then we'll get the steel. And we'll do the pistol, the rifle, and then the knife. So who had what? Character? You're good with shooting. Abrasive, steadfast. So let's go ahead and give you the survival rifle. You had decent shooting, and you were a careful shooter, so you can go with a pistol. And you can't fight, so you don't get anything. So there we go. Like I said, the mental thing is the biggest thing you have to think about too, because if people break down, they start hurting each other in themselves, and you can't control them. So I think the first thing we want to do, oh nice, uranium ore, is we're going to make a little house here pretty much. So let's go ahead and start with that. Let's go ahead and get some stockpiles going, moving things around. So for instance, let's just get a stockpile here, all in one spot. And then we want a dumping stockpile, probably right over here where it's out of the way. And then now get them going. And let's get some work orders done. We're going to do a manual priorities. First things first, we want firefighting, which is exactly what it is. When fires break out, we want people to fight them so that it doesn't spread and cause damaging. You're the doctor, so I want you to be a doctor second. I want to also flip switches. So that's going to be important later on, I'll explain. And then you've got decent skills, so let's go ahead and make you a doctor third. Make these second. Because if you're injured, you should go get help. Wardens, you have 6 and you have 8. So let's go ahead and make you a warden. And then you have no cooking skills. You got no cooking skills. You're the only one. Oh, I thought we had more cooks. 4 is not great. We're going to have food poisoning. But you needed a cook. In fact, you're going to warden second, and you're going to warden first priority. And then no construction there. We're going to make those 3s. Hunting's going to be like a 4. Growing's going to be a 2 for you. So if you're not cooking, you're growing. And then you're going to be cooking number 2. That's secondary. Secondary. Mining. That'll be a 3rd. Gosh, I thought we had more people. You have like no skills. Mike. Animal. Art. You can do some art. I guess you'll be hauling a lot for us and cleaning. Oh, you should research though. Let's bump those down. And then, yeah, that. Craft. That's fine. Art, you can do with a 4. 4. 4. We only have 1 plant cutter. You've got 3 and 3. You can be a plant cutter. You can do that secondary. You can do that. Okay. That's decent enough for now. And then also we want to do restrictions. So everybody's going to be working most of the time. That's how it rolls in this colony. If you don't work, you don't live. And then you're going to have a little break around lunchtime. You can go ahead and have some fun. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Orders. We're going to claim this little shack for ourselves. We're going to need some doors. So we need orders. Where is it? Production? No. Structure. There it is. We're going to make this out of wood because we have wood. Just going to slap a couple doors on there. And this will be our first little area. We're going to do some beds real quick out of wood. We can make lots of resources, but it's just easier to make it out of wood in the beginning. Everything you build, you can tear down as well and reuse the resources. So if we build a giant wall out of metal and we need it later, we can tear down that wall and use the metal to build whatever else we want. So it's easy to tear down and rebuild stuff. We're going to speed things up a little bit. We've got some information down here. So we got little thingies that we can click on. I don't usually use any of these. Times, the time of the day, the date of the year, the weather, the temperature. So it's pretty cool stuff. We can actually use some of these to get information about the rooms, like the quality of the room, the temperature of the rooms, stuff like that. There's so much to do. So this episode's going to be a little extra long because there's going to be a lot of going over stuff. But I think this will be a decent start. Nothing's going to be trying to kill us. Every once in a while, animals will go mad and they will randomly just come after us, but it's an event, it happens. Another thing we want to do is chop down some trees and start getting a farm going. So clear out a bunch of these trees, please. That really didn't clear out a lot of trees. They only chopped down full-grown trees, which is nice. But we can get rid of those later. And we'll start the garden, actually, zones right here. Should be a good start. And then we're going to grow potatoes. Yeah, it's default. So yeah, there's tons of animals. There's little animals, there's bigger animals. Generally, the bigger the animal, the more meat and hide you get for them. And then you can use that stuff for other things. Let's cancel out that. Is there any more food? Food will be kind of an important thing. We might as well have somebody hauling it when there's not much to do. Because our hauler isn't very good at anything else, so they might as well do their only job they have. And this way we don't have to mine anything for a while too. So let that go. Oh, there's some more food up here. And there we go. I think that's about it. I'll probably find some more stuff later. I'll probably miss some stuff. That's pretty close. You can go get that too. So yeah, there's deer, there's boars. There's lots of wildlife. It's a real cool game. What do we want to do? We got the beds. Oh, we need a sleeping spot for the dog. Before we forget. Structures. Furniture. And sleep in that little corner. Okay, somebody needs to be constructing more than doing the other stuff. Who's our only constructor? You got 6. Yeah, you should be doing that. I'm gonna bump those back up. We need that a little bit higher priority. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. You've got 5, Imka 5. So let's bump that up. There we go. Someone can farm while somebody constructs. Because we need some beds in here. In fact, I want you to prioritize already building a bed. Good. Reserved as... Okay. There we go. So we got our house. He's building the beds so people can go to sleep. Because if they sleep on the floor, they don't like it very much. They're going to be eating on the floor. They don't like that as much as well. But that's fine. That's how life rolls. Can't have everything after you crash land on the planet. So first things first, we're going to expand this because this is going to be too small too quickly. So we're going to go ahead and have them move some of this stuff out of the way. And then we're going to have them chop down some more trees here for more wood, and we're going to start building. So the building, I like to say, is very similar to Prison Architect, because it's only the one level we have to worry about instead of multiple levels like Nemoria. And it's real simple in that we can click and drag, we can make boxes and stuff, and I really like it. So there we go, we got that going. So that's a dumping stockpile. And then we'll have to start moving stuff inside, actually. So let's do another one. So certain things you need to put in stockpiles, and you need to put them inside, otherwise they deteriorate, like medicine and food. Food will actually go to bad unless you can put it in a refrigerator, so that's another thing we'll have to work on eventually, but packaged food usually doesn't go bad too quickly. Don't allow rotten. Don't allow raw resources and body parts. Apparel and weapons can go in there. So that means that'll go in there, and then let's go ahead and cancel that so that it's not out here. So no food, no manufactured, no rotten, no weapons, no apparel, no body parts. Sweet. So this will grow over time and we'll be able to harvest more. There's other ways to speed this up, and there's also ways to grow stuff during the non-growing season. Basically, the growing period determines that there's going to be enough sunlight for things to grow, and there's going to be enough heat. Not only does the heat affect our people, but the plants. If it gets too cold, it can literally kill off your crop that was about to have a bunch of food. So you have to be very careful on when you're starting to do more building, that you don't cause something that causes a cold snap in your house, where all your food is. Eventually we can also tame and train, well not tame, but we already tamed it, train the dog to do stuff too. Like it can haul stuff for us, it can go and attack people for us, it can protect people. See, we're having a little break, so everybody's going to go do stuff. Like, for instance, this guy is cloud watching. So is this guy. This guy is going for a nice little walk, which reminds me for joy. So if they do the same thing over and over, it's not joyful anymore, and they get tired of it. So we do little joy things every once in a while. We can buy joy things. But here's just a little horseshoe pit so that they can play with every once in a while. Because if they do stuff together too, it also helps them. So there we go. We got this all cleared out. Let's go ahead and do some more stuff. So let's go ahead and do some wood. And let's just go ahead and continue this box out like so. And let them get that built. And then we'll do... Oh, I didn't want to do auto doors. I messed up on those. Deconstruct those. There's auto doors and there's regular doors. Basically, the regular doors, they open up on their own. And the auto doors will actually use power to automatically open and close, which is much quicker, but it requires energy. Okay. So yeah, like this, they lay down all the resources they can, and then they just go to town. I really like how they build so quickly in this one. Bam, bam, bam. They're efficient. There we go. As soon as you get a structure built, bam, it automatically goes ahead and does that. I'm thinking we're going to actually keep breaking up and doing more rooms. We definitely need as much happiness for these people as possible, so we've got wood. So let's go ahead and tell these guys to chop down some more trees tomorrow, which won't be too many trees. And then we will go ahead and construct another actual section, furniture structure. We'll put on another door right here, and then we'll put on some more wooden walls like so. There we go. We'll put a door in here because it's always good to have multiple entrances. So basically we're going to get to a point where we're going to have to start thinking about where we really want to do with this. I really think we'll dig into this mountain. Like, we can wall off this chunk and this and this. But unlike No Moria, where we can actually literally wall ourselves off and be completely safe, the bad guys are smart enough in this game that they'll find a way in. They will break their way in if they have to. So you have to be careful. You can't just wall yourself off and wait for them to go away. It doesn't work that way. Events will happen. I had this one event where there was this gas that ended up leaking all over the place, and it literally killed off all the animals. And so after a while, all I had was crops. Like, there was no animals to hunt, so I had to rely on my crops constantly. So, and you have to go outside still and do stuff, but with limited time, otherwise you become sick and die too. So you have to kind of think about things like backup plans, like what happens if my crops die? I have to go hunting. Well, if I killed off all the animals when I didn't really need to and I sold the meat, then I'm going to be in trouble. Animals will repopulate, and so will trees. They will eventually regrow, but you can't be too crazy. Like, if a forest fire broke out, it'll eventually continually eat this whole forest area and just keep burning. But if it rains, it'll actually put it out, which is great. But, yeah. You gotta think about stuff. So you can't get rid of all the trees if you want to keep some backup trees. You can actually grow some, but that's just a really big thing you don't have to worry about. Furniture, where is it? Floors. Let's go ahead and build some floors in here. Out of wood. Get some happy points for that. Everybody's having a little break. And then we can start moving these beds so that everybody has their own room. Somebody will have this room, somebody will have this one, and this one. They all work the same hours, so they all sleep the same hours. Which is great at this point, because if somebody ends up sleeping in one room and somebody walks in and starts doing stuff, that's a warg. How many more of you are out there? It's actually friendly right now, but if it decides to go crazy, it would eat us. I didn't see him before. He's just a random warg who came in here. We could try to tame it, but that's what the animal skill is for. The trouble is, if it fails because your skill level isn't high enough, there's a big chance it will fail. That there's a chance that when you do fail, the animal will actually attack you. It looks like it's actually leaving the map. But like, literally, we could tame a bunch of these boom rats and boomalopes and use them for like attacking people, which could be very devastating as well. Okay. So because we don't want to tear down those beds until they're actually done, we're going to throw some extra ones into here. And then we're going to start thinking about power tomorrow. So power, we're going to do some solar panels. Solar panels are pretty nice. All they need is sunlight, but they have their limitations. And one of the big ones is they only hold so much juice, so we're going to throw some batteries in here. It's not the safest, but you don't want those outside either, because if it rains, it can cause them to short circuit. Now this guy's going to have a little bit of interrupted sleep, so this is why we want people to have their own rooms, and why we want multiple doors. So eventually I'll probably add on, like right here, I might just wall this off, and I'll put the stockpile here so that people can go, and I'll cut out these doors actually, maybe. I don't know. Because if somebody gets interrupted, it's a negative effect. Like for instance, I'll go ahead and click on Mike here, and we'll check and pause real quick his needs. So right now they start off with some good boosters, otherwise we would fail miserably, but they get low expectations, which is 15 plus, new colony, optimism, which is 10 plus, and comfortable, because he's got a bed and he's indoors. So that's a big thing. He's got -4 because he ate off the ground, -5 because he slept in the cold, even though it's 46 degrees, it's slightly cold for them. -5 because they're sharing a bedroom, and then he got disturbed sleep twice, so he got a -6. And it's crowded because there's so much furniture and people sleeping in this room that he gets a -12. So it's a big theme to kind of get them separated in their own rooms as quickly as possible, besides getting them indoors and on beds properly. Alright, so that's going pretty good. So we get some power going, and since we'll have power, we can go ahead and do furniture. There it is. Looks like you'll be here a while. Leontin is suggesting that you give the colony a name. What should it be called? Palo Pinto? No. Utopia? Why not? Okay, the colony is now known as Utopia. So we'll build these extra beds, and then we can get rid of a couple of these. And then we'll also go ahead and let them go and clear up these trees to get solar panels going. Basically, everything needs to be conducted with this power, which is this power conduit. It uses one piece of steel, and you need that to run all the electricity. And then batteries hold electricity, but if you have a lot of electricity, sometimes it can cause them to expart and explode. Wind turbines are good use. They give you constant flow even during day and night, but you have to remember that it's wind, so the wind will definitely vary considerably depending on the, needs. We need some defenses. So, once they get some of these going, we'll go ahead and get some more stuff going. For instance, we're going to line this right up with some power. And then we'll bring this out a little bit. Wait, no. Let's not do that. Cancel that. Basically, this is why we got switches. I want the power connect to this switch indoors, and I want it to come out here. And basically, we have security things. So besides us having guns and weapons, which is crazy, we have pistols, we got rifles, we got submachine guns, we got light machine guns, we got shotguns, we've got like laser guns, I think. Crazy amount of weapons, grenade launchers. We also have grenades, Molotovs, and then we got melee weapons, we got clubs, we got knives, we got, I think, swords maybe. We got armor, we got power shields. There's so much stuff in this game. We also have weapons to help us, these automated turrets. The downside, though, is they use constantly power. So this is why we got switches, so that we can turn them off when we want to. And there's another reason I like to have switches on them, because the way the AI works. Now, because these guys... What happened? Oh, we got visitors. A neuroscientist from City at the Stream is visiting the colony. His name is Kevin Nilsson. Ooh, jump to location. Look at Kevin in his spiffy outfit. There he goes. We get visitors every once in a while. Alright, before we forget though, let us get rid of some of these beds. So, deconstruct those and those. So, Mike can go ahead and go into this bed. Oops. Let's see, Mike. And then this one will be for Nate. Just in case, so they automatically know not to go to those. And so, see, basically this is how it works. The sun goes, it lights up, and it powers these. This will fill up and have a charge on its own, but this is why we have batteries, so that we have power all the way through the night. Another thing we're going to want is some lights inside. So we'll put a light bulb here. Light bulb here. See, we don't actually need the conduit to touch it. We can actually connect stuff like the security guns can connect to them without being right next to them. But everybody likes a little lighting into their places. So we'll get that going. And there we go. Speed things up a little bit more. It's going pretty good. Nothing's happened yet, so things can change. Kevin's going to chill out here. I don't know what he's going to do, but they eventually leave. You can actually attack them if you want. Like, for instance, we can actually see what he has. He's equipped with a steel knife, which is awful. Everything has quality as well. He's wandering. He's 64, but technically he's 112. Gear-wise, he has a steel knife, of course. He has a cloth cowboy hat, a buffalo wool button-down t-shirt, a cloth duster, cloth pants, and a simple meal. So he's pretty good. Okay. Another thing we're going to work on is resources today. Once they get these built, I want these done. I can prioritize. Like, for instance, I can tell this guy to go ahead and build that instead of working on the turret. And he'll automatically go get the resources and go build it. Very nice. We want defenses, though, so let's go ahead and do a little bit more stuff. We have the steel, so let's do some sandbags. Sandbags offer a little protection from ranged weapons. So everything... combat's crazy in this one. Like, if you're behind a wall, you have more protection than if you're standing out in the middle of nowhere. Also, if you're hiding behind boulders, you get protection. If you're hiding behind a corner, you pop out. You can shoot, pop back into cover, you know. It's a lot of effects. And we're also going to turn these off before they drain all of the power. And flick switch, bam! Got it done. We're not waiting for somebody to go flip a switch anymore. Stuff gets done. Alright, resources. Let's go ahead. And for now, we're going to use wood. And we're going to build a little corridor right here. We'll put a door there. And we might as well build it out to here. And have a nice space. And eventually we'll make this like a refrigerator. So we're going to need a door here. And we're going to door there. And then we're going to want to chop down some more trees. If anything, I could have made this a little bit bigger for this person. I might end up doing that, to be honest. Let's go ahead and start getting that ready. You know what? And also the trees cause cover. So you gotta think about your guys having cover, but not your enemies. So, because this is what I'm talking about. Events. Mad animal. A local squirrel has gone mad. It will attack everyone it sees. Jump to location. So it's right here. And we're over here. So as long as we're indoors, they won't break in to kill us, but we have to kind of prepare for ourselves. Like, there it is. It's out there trying to kill us. In Madden, it's a manhunter. Did Kevin leave? Kevin? Dang it, Kevin, you could have helped me here. I would have let you sleep inside, maybe. There's Kevin. Kevin, I need you to come down here and kill this squirrel. We've got it. We're gonna have to be careful. Basically, every time somebody gets hurt, they need to use a medicine. And if they get an infection, they need more medicine. So it's kind of a crucial thing. Basically, we're gonna wait till somebody wakes up, and we're gonna flip the switch and let the turrets kill these guys. There's no ammo for turrets. It just uses power. Okay. So we got the stockpile. Go get ready. I think I'm gonna get rid of some of these doors, to be honest. Then again, I could just... I don't know. Maybe we'll use this for research and stuff. I could cut this in half and have 2 rooms here. Let this person have this room, and then that way they'd have them separated. I think we'll do that, to be honest. I know we have to tear down stuff, but to be honest, it doesn't take much to tear down. Let's be honest. I say honest a lot. Alright. This is going slower than I thought it was going to be. That squirrel's going to get us! This crazy squirrel. At least the crops are growing. We'll probably grow some more crops soon enough. Okay. So now this isn't a combat phase. We might as well practice. You have a pistol. We're gonna draft people. Basically, this guy's gonna go inside here. You're gonna go over here. You're gonna go here. And then you're going to undraft and flip this switch. And then you're going to get drafted again so you don't go wandering off. I'm going to use you for bait, and I'm going to stick these guys right by these doors. And you have to remember there's friendly fire. Actually, you don't need to go outside then. So, if this guy's in line with this turret, he's going to get shot. So you don't want to stick people in line of sight of other people. In fact, you're going to go inside real quick. Turrets, kill him. Bam! That was much quicker. Alright. Just a little taste, guys. A little taste. No, undraft. No, undraft. What am I doing? Flip switch. Okay, there we go. And then you can go here. No. There you go. And go ahead and finish this off. No. See, they're not the best, so you need to practice where you can. And there you go, you're done. Alright, we got that for corpses, good. So bodies will eventually rot, and then they won't be able to be eaten. Alright, construction time. Let's go ahead and redo some of this stuff. So structure-wise, we want to, for now... Of course, I put that bulb right there in the middle. Yeah, we're going to have to deconstruct that. Because I want to put these doors right there in the middle. So put a door here, wall there, wall there, wall there. Deconstruct that one. And let's rebuild it over here. It's a general size. It's not so much like dimensions. It's just, you know, so many square feet in a room determines how much they like it. Okay. And let's go ahead and remove this stockpile. Let's fill up. Dang it! I put this in here too. I gotta get rid of that. Tidying up a little bit before it gets too bad, and then we'll delete. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's fill up this whole area, and then just delete the middle. That didn't work too well, but that's fine. This way we can put some stuff here. And then once again, we have to make sure that we do this. Oh, actually, because we just kept deleting and moving the same one, it's fine. Sweet joy. Let's go ahead and put this right here. Okay, so this will be Nate's bed, right? Yes. And now we need some lamps in here, and then we'll be done. Furniture, lamps. Lamps, lamps. Nice. And now we can really start getting into the biggest things, which will be food production and more farming and some flooring in here. Flooring. Oh, there's an end goal, I should say, to this madness of a game. Oh, we don't have enough wood. It's fine. Build what you can. We'll chop down the rest. Basically, you can actually escape this planet. If you do enough research, you can actually build a ship and fly off of here. So there's actually something we can do. Need metal, no trading capacity. It's another thing we need to start working on. How's our metal supplies? We've got 320. It's good. Alright, so there we go, guys. 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. So like I was going to say, now that we've got the basics kind of going, now we're going to be getting into the more advanced stuff, which is communications, so we can start trading with people. We have some money, so every once in a while we could go ahead and buy something that we might need. We can hire people, we can hire pets, we can hire, you know, buy food, weapons, stuff like that. Important things. But there we go. We're going to get into the more in-depth stuff pretty soon here. So I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I will see you next time.